So tonight, actually, still only minutes ago at the time that I'm recording this, I finally decided I was going to learn completely. I mean, I had a pretty good idea, or so I thought from reading the instructions, but I thought I'm going to learn how to play this game. I made a video a while ago now, actually over a month ago, where I talked about a few new hockey games. And then for a variety of reasons, it's just, it's been a little while since I've gotten back to it. But I played a couple of games with this, and to give you an idea of how, well, basically when I'm not playing on camera, so it's pretty messy. But what this is Pittsburgh and New Jersey. I took two really good teams, actually, two of the best teams from the 2009-10 season, and just decided to match them up against one another because they were the first two on the sheets, the team sheets. I've not cut the teams out yet or anything, but two really good teams to match up. New Jersey won the first game. They were on the road for the first one. I went away, home, and kept it simple. I'm going to keep doing that here, keep alternating. And New Jersey won the first game by a final score of 5-3. And then the second game, New Jersey was the second game was really good. The second game, if anything, might have won me over to this if I hadn't, if I wasn't already won over to it. In the second game, New Jersey was up, I think, 4-1, headed into the third period, and then Pittsburgh came back, scored a few unanswered goals, sent it into overtime, where the Devils again picked up the victory. So right now, I've officially played two games of this. It's probably way too early to do a video like this on this game. I'm hardly an expert or anything like that, obviously, but I will say this at the same time. Right after saying, for one thing, it's been a while since I've done a video, period, let alone any with any regularity, or at least it feels that way. And another thing is that this game is ridiculously easy. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that's quite a good thing. After a few rolls, I was in the first period of the first game that I had played with this, and I think I happened onto something here. Because if you look at it, it is 5D hockey. This is 5 dice hockey. Did I not say that already over 2 minutes into it? I did not. Oh, well. Okay, building the suspense there unintentionally. So this is 5 dice hockey you see here, created by Martin Kay. And like many hockey games, I finally, I endeavored to play it, and then I feel like I should have, what took me so long? Why didn't I learn this game a while ago? So take it as a compliment. That's already quite a ringing endorsement for it. And what I started to say there is that it might look a little dicey on the surface, using five of them. But I think I figured out a trick a few rolls into the first period where you really only have to look at a couple of them for most of your rolls. And so I'll get to that here shortly, but it's how to play a game of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play game three, put Pittsburgh back at home, the Devils on the road again. Maybe this will be like an alternating best of seven where I alternate home and away after each game. So just kind of do my own sort of best of seven. And so just to show how to play this game, and again, I cannot get over, one of the reasons maybe why I was a little reluctant to actually do this is I thought, oh, I'm going to sit down and try to learn it. I'm going to run into something that I don't understand. And, I'll have to email Martin, go back and forth a few times, try to figure it out. And Martin, if you're listening to this, buddy, if I'm doing anything incorrectly, please be the first to point it out in comments. If I do something ridiculously, hilariously incorrect and you want me to take the video down, that's okay too. I even thought maybe I should contact you before doing this video, but I know last time with the PMs and stuff, it took a few days. You might be busy with your own thing, your own schedule, so which is completely fine and understandable. And I think I actually have the hang of this one. I will say this. If I'm awarding a title to a hockey game, this is the easiest hockey game I've ever learned. I think, really it is. I think it's easier than any other hockey game, even with 5 dice and all. Now, of course, for this game, as I do for a number of games, basically any game that counts minutes, I use my trusted Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey Clock. This game is somewhat vaguely reminiscent of Mike Owens, except that it doesn't use players and player stats. And one thing, and I think I said this actually in the initial video where I introduced this one, if I were to play a long-term project with this one, where I am with stats is that I like to keep them, but I also like to keep them simple. And so I think that I would probably supplement goals and assists in the very least with Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey. I could just do that on top of goals scored in this game. But in this game, where really this is most reminiscent of Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey, and again, that's definitely not a bad thing if you know me and you know how I feel about that game. But it is different enough at the same time. Now that I've played two whole games, I feel like I can say that. So the setup and the run through, since the Devils are on the road, I'm going to look at their offense home, and they have an offense home rating of 22. So maybe what I'll do here is I'll just show. So you have the New Jersey Devils in Pittsburgh. So their offense away rating is 22. Is 22. Hopefully that makes sense. Whereas Pittsburgh, their offense home rating is 33. So Pittsburgh, the more offensive team, obviously, of the two. Now, I would look at Pittsburgh's defense home rating of 27. And so, I don't know, maybe I could say opponent home defense 27. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing for Pittsburgh here. I look at the defense away, and it's 24. Now I want to look. Let me see. Yes, 49 and 57. Okay. So that I just wanted to make sure that I played the first game correctly there. So these numbers add up. So the Devils add up to 49. The Penguins 57. The Penguins have an advantage here, but like I said, the first game that I rolled of this, the Devils won at 5-3. So unless I did something wrong during the game itself, it would appear, and again, this is something that I really like about hockey games, a team that comes into it the underdog, they still have to be able to win often enough. You look at the parity that's in the league today, the underdog is still going to win the game probably close to 40% of the time, if not more. So it accounts for that, and hopefully that'll make sense. Overtime or shootout, if we get to it, we will. I'm probably just going to do overtime. I play hockey. I don't do shootouts. So I'll leave it at that. And yeah, two teams here in the Atlantic Division. I get in New Jersey in the Atlantic in 2010. Okay. So gonna have to go look at 2010 again. It was a fantastic year for hockey for a Habs fan. Of course, it was Halak is God, and they upset the Penguins. Their bid for their second consecutive Stanley Cup championship, eliminated them in Game 7. Again, it was Halak. Basically, the three reasons we eliminated Pittsburgh and Washington were Halak, and more Halak in that playoff. And of course, we called up PK. Hal Gill played some of the best hockey of his career. Jersey and Pittsburgh glanced at them before coming on camera anyway. So for the Devils, this year they acquired Kovalchuk mid-season. Zach Parise was their leading scorer. They had a good year from Zajac. Zajac was quite good then offensively. Langenbrunner as well, excellent two-way player. One of the hockey guys' favorite players. And they also had a Zubris that season. They had Niedermeyer, though not Scott Niedermeyer. They had just Rob Niedermeyer that season. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they had 20-goal scorers like Guerin, actually, late in his career, hung on for a 20-goal season. In Pittsburgh, they had a young Jordan Stahl, also a 20-goal scorer. Of course, Sidney Crosby. I'd be remiss not to mention that was his 50-goal campaign. He had 51 goals that season, and tied for the Rocket Richard Trophy. And Malkin missed some time, had an okay season, maybe slightly subpar by Malkin in his standards then. That was somewhere in and around his 109-point Art Ross Trophy winning season campaign. But it's so a couple of really good teams here, needless to say. And this here too, it's not so much for goaltending. I think defense and goaltending are baked into the team ratings, and so that is one area where it differs from a game like shootout, or even a game to a lesser extent like Mike Owens' quick play. So anyway, where was I going with this? Pretty good teams there in the 2010. Pittsburgh, of course, has Sergei Gonchar manning the blue line and quarterback in the power play probably as well. Andy Green, actually, I think led defenseman in scoring for the Devils that season, which isn't as it sounds. Andy Green was a bit more of a point producer then than he is now with the New York Islanders. So anyway, I used an app roller on my phone, so this is actually my first time with handheld dice for what it's worth playing through this game. But as we're about 10 minutes into it, I think I've shown the setup adequately, and so I think I'm good to go here. So I'm going to take and shake and drop all 5 dice, and right away I'll show this is what I do with it. Sorry, one more thing. Had that hilarious, funny feeling that I was forgetting something. So the 49 and the 57, what you do is you come over here to this scoring range chart. And so 49 for the Devils corresponds to 165. So their scoring range for the game is 111 to 165. Pittsburgh with that 57, I'm going to find that 57 here in the same chart. It's down here a little ways, and that's 215 there for Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh has a range of 111 to 215. Now, another thing maybe I'll show, actually, I'll use a red marker to point this out. So with the red die, because New Jersey is the away team, they will have a chance on a red die roll of 1 to 3. Pittsburgh will have a chance on a red die roll of 4 to 6. And for advancing time as well, I mean, I could show in the book here. The book, which again, it's quite straightforward, nicely laid out. It's 4 pages. It shows here the time. So it's a little different than Mike Owen's quick play, kind of similar, but a little bit different. 3 and 4, it's going to be a 2-minute advance. 2 is a 1. Actually, the first couple are the same. And then 3 and 4, a 2-minute advance. 5 is a 3-minute advance, but then 6 is a 4-minute advance. That's where it does deviate there slightly. But I guess just to show, I can show that with blue marker. So it's so I guess if on a blue roll of 1, 2, 3, I should have started higher up on this little whiteboard to do this. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'd be looking at 0 minutes, 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully that'll make sense. So again, there's what you're looking at for this game. So applying that to our first roll here, our first drop of the 5 dice, it does mean that 2 minutes have been advanced in the first period of play. And here's the trick. I look at this. Now this is a green 6. So again, if we look at the Devils, their range is 111 to 165, and Pittsburgh 111 to 215. So if this is a green 3, 4, 5, or 6, then it means neither team has a chance, and so I'm not going to worry about... I mean, I guess if you wanted to keep track for your own purposes, your own records or whatever, of who had the scoring chance, then you could do that, and technically this would be a home Pittsburgh chance here for this one. But again, I'm looking at this, and I see that that's a green 6, and how I know that that's not a chance is because these 3 dice here are read together, green, black, and white. So, it says here, yeah, the green, black, and white for 111 to 666. So basically, you're reading the range in this order. So this number reads 631, which is much higher than 111 to 165 and 111 to 215. Okay. Anyway, again, this is the easiest hockey game ever. Sorry about that. So 631, there is no scoring chance for either team. So we're going to roll again. So I look to the blue right away. I advance 2 more minutes. I look to the green, and it's a 3. I'm just going to keep rolling because it's not a 1 or a 2. Now this one I will have to pay closer attention. Actually, we stay in the same minute, so about 4 minutes in here. 5, that's going to be a chance for Pittsburgh at home. We look to the green, we look to the black, and we look to the white. Guess what? That is going to be a goal scored, so we get a 1-0 game here for Pittsburgh. And there are, of course, all kinds of ways that you can roll for exact time. I'm not going to bother here. I'm just going to say that at about 4 minutes in there, Pittsburgh gets on the board first there with the go-ahead goal. We can say, I don't know, for the heck of it, let's say Crosby from Kunitz and Dupuis or something like that. Anyway, so we're going to get 4 more minutes off the clock this time, up to 1:08, and you see the green 4 there. So right away I know, because again, 111 to 165, 111 to 215. And this here is represented by the green die. So if that green die is a 4, again, the red, which would normally show you which team has the scoring chance, it doesn't really matter here because whichever team has it, they're not succeeding. So, okay, we're going to stay in the 8th minute though. And again, so right away I see that green 6. I know, okay, I'm going to keep rolling. So again, it's 5, but it's really in a sense kind of more like 2, where again, we're going to stay with the same. Okay, so with 2 more minutes come off the clock, now we're up to 10. And this time here, now this could be where it's a close call. So I have a 225. Actually, that will be just out of the range. 4 for Pittsburgh, 215. So 225. That's a narrow miss for Pittsburgh. That's a big stop for Marty Brodeur, who during this season, the 29-0-10 season, broke Terry Sawchuk's shutout record and also got his 600th win in this season, did Martin Brodeur. So anyway, up to 10 minutes now. Let's see here. So 2 more off the clock with that roll of a 4. And it looks like we're going to have, we have a tie game here. So that's 154. And that 1, that's the away. That's New Jersey. So bing bang, we have Maybe it was Kovalchuk if they had acquired him by this point, hypothetically, in the season. We have a 1-1 hockey game here, New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Okay, so 5. We're going to take 3 more off the clock now. We're up to minute 15. And what is that? That's a 2. We got a 2-1-4 here, but it's the 1, it's the away. So guess what? Close call here for the Devils. Big save by Marc-Andre Fleury. And we're going to play on here, 1-1, late in the first period, where we take another minute off the clock. And we've got now a 2:43. That's going to be narrowly out of the range of both of them. And that's another thing. As soon as I see that this is a 1 or a 2, I just look to the black right away. Sorry, I don't have a black D6 with pips. Well, I do, but I don't have one. The ones that I have, the corners are really rounded, and so it spins for a while before it actually settles. I didn't want that. So anyway, 2:43 here means it's out of the range of both teams. So we're going to keep going. So we get 3 more off the clock here, up to 19. And with the 6, again, I'm just going to stop looking. Minutes, similar to Mike Owen's quick play game, they roll over into the ensuing period. So with that other roll of a 5 here, I'm just going to pick it up here 2 minutes into period 2, where I've got a 2, but right away I see that's a 6. I can stop looking again. So sometimes I only have to look at 2 dice or possibly 3. We've got a good game going so far here. 1-1 here between New Jersey and Pittsburgh. We're going to stay here minute 2 of period 2 with that green 5. That tells me to keep rolling. 3 more come off the clock now, up to 5. And what do we have here? We have a 2-1-3. Oh, but it's New Jersey. So again, Jersey only up to 165, being on the road, being a little less prolific offensively. We need to look to Pittsburgh for that roll, in order for that roll to work. Where we're going to get 4 minutes here, so we're up to minute 9. And it's going to be a 1:15, and let's see who's got it. I actually kind of like looking at this last myself. That's not really how it's specified or the order that it's in the instructions. But, and again, I do have to say it's an endorsement for the game. Well written, straightforward, straight ahead. I cannot believe that I learned this game as quickly and as easily as I did. You know, it's the end of the day for me here. It isn't early in it, so... but still, this is quite straightforward, quite easy to learn. Anyway, what was I saying there? 1-1-5 for New Jersey. So New Jersey, my goodness, they're up here 2-1, about 9 minutes, so about halfway through the game now. The Devils have taken a 2-1 lead, where they have a 2-0 lead, and what's kind of becoming a series between these two teams. Anyway, 3 more come off the clock now, so we're up just into minute 12. And look at this once again, though. We got a 1-5-6 there, and that's 4. That's Pittsburgh. Again, how is that Pittsburgh? This is how that's Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh has scored. They've tied the game here. Pittsburgh has tied. Maybe Maxim Talbot there with a rare marker. So we have a 2-all game now here, and 12-ish minutes here in a period 2. And we're going to take another 4 off the clock now up to minute 16. I see that green 6. Maybe I could have re-rolled because that was tilted a little bit, but oh well. So I'm just going to keep going here late in period 2. And we're going to take 2 more off the clock here up to minute 18, but the green 4 tells me just to keep on going here. 2-2 late in the second. Another minute is advanced, but again, we're not going to have anything in the range of either team. So we're a minute into the third period here now, and again, looking to the green 6 tells me to keep on going. So 4 more minutes come off the clock now, up to minute 5, and let's have a look at this. We have a 1, 2, and a 1, and it's a 4. So Pittsburgh is now taking the lead. Trying to think how often they've had a lead in this little series that I'm in the middle of here, spontaneously. And I think they scored first actually in the game. But we have a 3-2 lead right now for Pittsburgh. Maybe Alex Goligoski there from the point. We're going to stay here about 5 minutes into period 3. And actually, hold on now. Sorry, I'm losing my voice as well. It's end of workday voice. 2:33, which again, we're looking, sorry, I know this is a bit sloppy, but it's going to be just out of Pittsburgh's range there as well. So, okay, so up to minute 9 now we go here, and that green 5 tells me just keep on going. Stop looking and start rolling. So up to minute 13, and again, the 3 tells me, again, maybe some teams had some chances and got close, but it's just still 3-2 Pittsburgh. Another minute's advance with that blue 2. Again, I've got that here. So 2, I'm advancing a single minute. Again, 3 and 4, you're advancing 2 minutes. Again, players of Mike Owen's Quick Play Pro Hockey, this is really the only one I think that changed. I'm trying to think now. Scratch my head on my Mike Owens, but I'm pretty sure this would be the only one that would change. So anyway, up to 14 there. Actually, hold on now, 2:51. So right away I see the black 5. I know Pittsburgh's range only goes as far as 2-1. So anyway, but for the Pittsburgh Penguins, this is late in period 3, where this is going to buy them some time here. I might get to show here if Jersey pulls the goalie down by 1. So we're up to 18 though. Let's double check here. Yes, there's going to be no nothing going on here. So it's a little, I'm actually glad that we arrived at this point. This is something that I have not done yet because the Devils were up by a couple, and also, and it does specify here in the instructions only if down by one. Again, similar to some other games. I think it's just so the averages compute, scores, wins, losses, and the like. There is, if you roll 3 6s, perhaps this is something that I should check for a little more carefully. Sorry if during the course of this game I have rolled a 6 6 6 with the green, black, and white, in which case I would roll on this rare. I would roll a I just look at the white die. I guess I presume anyway. I would roll the white die again. Actually, it doesn't specify for colors, so I wonder if that means a 6 6 6 with any 3 dice. Okay. Might have to follow up on that one. Anyway, for the time being, though, we have basically a couple minutes to go, where it says here, play as many sequences as it takes to use all 60 minutes from the regular time. The team is losing just by 1 goal, and the last sequence of third period is about to be played. By last sequence, I mean, I assume now we have 2 minutes to go here, so I'm going to say that's close enough. Again, if I'm wrong, please point it out to me. It feels right. So for this last sequence here, it is assumed they have pulled their goalie. Do not play the next sequence as usual. Just roll 2d6. 11 to 36, the winning team scores. 41 to 61, nothing happens. Score remains as is. 62 to 65, New Jersey will score in this case, and then we'll go into overtime. And if it's a 66, they're going to get 2 goals late and win the game. I think I'll take red and blue for this one. And so 1-2, red and blue here. Okay, so that is I didn't specify there. Red and blue, I said red first, so we'll say 54. So 54 meaning nothing happens. And so the Pittsburgh Penguins here have won this game by a final score of 3-2. If this is a series, it means that right now the Devils are up 2-1 because, of course, my ultra high-tech elaborate here, random notebook here. Pittsburgh, again, they lost 5-3 in that opening one there, the tallies. And then this one here ended up going to OT where New Jersey rather, captured it in the second game and also in the first game as well. And there you can see my elaborate pregame math that I did, which means actually, so the 47 and the 59, let's see if I've done this correctly. So if the Devils are at home, their home offense is 30. Grab another little whiteboard here. I'll try to be a little better about this one. I don't think I can get much worse than the last one. So Pittsburgh and New Jersey. Okay. So for New Jersey, if they're going to be home this game, their home offense is 30, and the Penguins away defense is 29. So of course 30 plus 29, you can see again where I'm getting these numbers. Devils home offense is 30, Penguins away defense is 29. Of course, that's going to add up to 59 for New Jersey. And then for Pittsburgh, their away offense is 26. Now I'm scared I did do this one wrong. Their away off and then the home defense is 21. So 26 and 21, we have 47 here. So again, what I'm going to do this time before the game that I didn't do for the last one is 47 there for Pittsburgh, 164. So 111 to 164. And then for the 59 there, it's 111 to 216 there for New Jersey. I'm just going to call this one. This one is sloppy but fun. Kind of like me, kind of like punk rock. So I'm going to upload this one, but I think I will have to do another video of this where I settle down and get a little more scholarly, a little more teacherly. I think I'll do something like first impressions in the title or maybe I'll just call it, is it really this easy, to sort of indicate, this video for what it is. Just kind of, label this video for what it is. So let's reset the score. This is going to be a little strange again with the Devils on the left side, even though they're at home. The Penguins. I guess I could cut the cards out, but let's do this. This won't confuse anybody, I'm sure. So put the Devils score over here. No, I can't do that. Okay, like this. Well, no, you can't see that anymore. Anyway, New Jersey is at home. So if I can just remember the 4-5-6 for the Devils, and then the 1-3 for the Penguins, and then away we go with that. So I played 2 games off camera, 1 more here on camera, and I'm about to play 1 more. And again, for the time sequence, though it shows in the instructions, again, if this is your blue D6, let's say, and right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is 0 minutes, 1 minute. 3 and 4 both amount to 2 minutes of elapsed time. 5 is going to be 3, and 6 will be 4. Just like that. So we're good to go. We didn't get OT. That would have been interesting. OT, again, because I did play in overtime. It was fun because the first couple of rolls, they didn't fall into either team's winning range. And so I presumed anyway that I had to just keep going with it. It kind of built the suspense. To be honest, I didn't follow the minutes in OT. But again, I don't do shootouts. I play hockey. So maybe it was sudden death, we'll say. Right, it's the only OT that's worthwhile in my opinion as well. Anyway, we'll start here. We'll start here. So let's say first period again. And we're going to take a minute off the clock here to get things going. We already have a 2, but I see the 5-6. That won't be in either team's range. So maybe it was a close call. I think it was a red 4. Maybe it was a close call for the home team Devils. We're going to take 4 off the clock here. Now we're up to minute 5. And with that green 5, I know that neither team has succeeded in scoring. But I'm going to have to look carefully here. So 2 minutes come off the clock. Now right away I see 161. I looked at the 1. Now remember, Pittsburgh is the road team for this one. So that means once again in this game like last, the Penguins have taken the lead here. 161 was a bit of a close call, of course, because their range is 164. I also have to account for that for this game, the Penguins being on the road. Pretty similar, actually, with the Devils on the road, it's 165. And the Penguins at home came to 215. And when you think about it, these teams where they finished, right, 101 points that regular season and 103, and their records as well very similar, 48-27-7, 47-28-7. So very similar, right? Very similar, very close, and evenly matched. Anyway, 1-0 Pittsburgh, where we're going to get to 4 more off the clock here up to minute 11 here in period 1. Green 6 tells me just to keep going. Up to minute 13 now, green 4 again. I'm just going to keep rolling on here. So we're going to take 3 and 4 is 2 minutes. So up to minute 15. Actually, minute 15, hold on here, 131. And that's a 5. Again, the home team, rather, the New Jersey Devils, they've managed to tie the game here late in the frame. So we have a 1-1 hockey game here. And about 15 minutes in. And we're going to get 3 more off the clock here now, up to 18. But that is a green 3, so we're just going to keep going. And another minute here, 19. Late in the period, though, 2:41, just going to be narrowly out of both teams' range. And so we're going to roll over into the second period now, a minute into the second, but that green 4 tells us this stays a 1-1 hockey game for the time being. We're going to stay in the same minute, though, the 2-5. So again, I see that. The Devils there, their max range, 2-1-6. So we're going to keep rolling here. And another 4 minutes come off the clock now up to minute 5. That green 4 tells me cancel and continue. So 2 more minutes off the clock. And the green 6 tells me to keep going on. So 2 more minutes off the clock again now up to minute 9. Again, the green die tells me no, don't look any closer. 3 more minutes off the clock now up to minute 12 in period 2, where again I get a green 3. And sorry if I'm not the best roller. Another minute there where we get the green 6 though. So we're just going to keep moving on. And let's see here, up to 14, and again, that green 6. So, but we're going to stay in the 14th minute, however, with the green 4, though. So we're just going to, let's see here, 2 more minutes off the clock now up to 16, where we're getting a lot of high green rolls in this period. So it's funny because, again, I guess I was using the app die roller, so it's a little different. Again, it's on this phone, but 8 goals were scored between the teams in the first game. And then, 5-4 in OT, so 9 in the second game if you're counting overtime. And we have, 5 in the third game, and now we have 2 here, and we're almost 2/3 of the way through the game. So, again, I like that as well, a great variety of outcomes. Hockey should yield your 2-1s and then your 5-4s. So we're going to get 2 more minutes here off the clock, and the 3 tells us, no, there's nothing here. In the second period. Whoops, that was an odd drop. Oh, well, we'll allow it. So here, tail end of the second period, with that 142, that's going to be good for either team. And the 3, again, Pittsburgh being on the road, that means that goal goes to the Penguins. They've retaken their lead here late in period 2. They have a 2-1. They're looking to tie this series here. And so late in the second period now, so we're going to take 2 minutes off the clock. We're going right into the minute in the third period, where, look at this, we have a 1:22 and then the 3. And again, Pittsburgh being on the road, so it looks like the Penguins have a 2-goal lead here. I think that's the first time they've had a multi-goal lead anyway. So 3-1 now, Pittsburgh. And let's see here. So up to minute 5. And the 1 again. So we're getting a bevy of goals here after none. But the 6, that's going to be the Devils here at home, 162, well within their range. And so we're looking at a 3-2 game here. The Devils getting back to within 1. And away we roll here, about 15 to go in regulation at least, up to 4. We'll say it's playoff and sudden death if need be. So up to 4 here. 9, where again, look at this though, 233 again, a little higher than 164, a little higher than 216. Away we go with it. Okay, so another 2 minutes off the clock now, just past minute 11. The green 6 tells me to keep going here. We're going to stay in the same minute, but again, the green 6 tells me look no further. 2 more off the clock now, up past minute 13, again with that green 4. It's just a... So 4 more minutes off the clock now, 3 to go in the game, and look at, 2:52. Okay, so not quite. So Pittsburgh just trying to hold on their lead here and close this one out. We get to 19, so I'll assume the next one would be the next sequence and the Devils would pull. However, we got to look here, 3:15, so not quite. And I like that black die being in the middle of the sequence of 3 because actually in my own game, Impact Play, mine actually goes blue, black, white. So for what it's worth, I kind of like that. A game that, like mine, does it differently than most others. So it's nice to see that in at least one other game. Anyway, I will assume then the Devils have pulled Marty Brodeur, and they're going for the tie here in this next sequence. So actually, sorry, that means that I'm just going to roll the 2. I'm going to go red 10s and black 1s. Actually, here, I'll go black 10s with the numerals and then white 1s with the pips. So we'll do it like that here. So we get a 36. So 36 tells us actually the winning team scores. Pittsburgh has added an empty netter here late where they get up to, it's 2-2 in the series. So I was going to stop after this one, but I feel like maybe as I'm going here, just off the cuff, I'm going to say this is a best of 5. And as I recall, it was 57-49 for the Devils. The Devils, the Penguins get 57 at home. And the Devils get 49. So 57 and 49. And so again, that puts the range. Oh, I have it over here. Welcome back. So 49 there for the Devils and then 57 for the Penguins. So I'm just going to keep playing. I'm having fun with this. Again, I'm positively surprised and impressed at how much I like this. Whether or not I'm able to convey that well on camera, I would encourage you. This game is free. You can download this in Delphi. Of course, I will do what I can to link to all the the relevant information in the description to this video. And it flows and it flies. And within a few rolls, I found that, I don't think it's anywhere in the instructions, but I found that little trick, that little shortcut that, again, for 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9 rolls out of 10, I'm really just looking at these 2 dice. And only if I wanted to be a little more meticulous and track the chances for each team would I have to look to the home and away die a little more. So anyway, game 5, again, this is going to be Pittsburgh at home. The Devils took a 2-0 lead in this series off camera. They like this app die roller on my phone. Unfortunately for the handheld dice here, they have favored the Pittsburgh Penguins, so we'll chalk it up to that entirely. It's going to be 2 minutes here off the clock, but the green 6 tells us nada. So 2 more nada. So it's 2 more minutes here off the clock where we get the green 4 and no. Okay, so we're going to stay in the 4th, though. We had this in the first game that I rolled through, but again, not quite like it there with that green 5. So actually, we're going to stay here again, though, and look at this. So 1:15. So again, I like looking at that one last. I know the away team here, again, the away team, the Devils, the red 1-3. So it is Jersey actually taking the lead. Their first lead, I think, since sometime in game 3. In this game here to go up 1-0. Maybe their first lead since I've had this on camera. Anyway, we're going to take 2 more off the clock here now, just up past minute 6, and the green 6 tells me just to roll more. So again, another 2 off the clock where the green 5 tells me to continue and carry on. 4 more off the clock now up to minute 12, and again with the green 4, it just tells me, whoops, just to keep going. Hold and drop all 5 way, don't I? So it's going to be up to minute 14 now. Green 5 again, so nothing there. 2 more off the clock now up to 16 with the green 4. Not going to bother. Again, I could be doing this wrong, but I sure hope that I'm not. Or else this is the easy version of 5 dice hockey. Inadvertently, unintentionally, accidentally. So it's 19, and again with that green 3, we're going to just keep going here. Into period 2 we go. First minute of the second period, but again the green 5. A lot of high green rolls here, but we get the 2 here, so let's look. 2 more minutes off the clock now, and I have the 2-1-5. So if this is, let's see here though, 2-1-5, look at that. I had that happen in another game where it was really borderline like that. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, that one just inched by Brodeur. They had to go to video review. They couldn't tell whether or not it had crossed the line, but the call on the ice was a goal. Video replay proved a little inconclusive, so at least in my opinion, my estimation, that should be a goal. It is, let's see here, who can I go with? Who haven't I mentioned? Tail end there. Oh, Tyler Kennedy. It is Tyler Kennedy just nosing it over the line here, and we play on. Brodeur is quite upset. Anyway, 4 off the clock now up to minute 6 where we get another 2. We get a 2-2-2. That's not going to work. Okay, so 3, so up to minute 9, and with that green 4, we're just going to keep going. About halfway through another tight one now that I'm rolling the handheld. That could be a goal, though. So 3 more off the clock now, 12, and I know I could look there right away. So it is, it's Pittsburgh, and then looking here, look at this, though. 2-1-6, right? 2-1-5. So Pittsburgh, they hit the post, and our Brodeur doing his little scorpion save there. And let's see, it's going to be another minute off the clock, and nothing there. Nothing doing there. So we're going to get 4 minutes off the clock now up to minute 17. That 3 tells me not in range. 2 more minutes off the clock now up to minute 19. Hold on. 2-1-3, but look, it's the Devils, and they're maxed at 165. So the Devils, they got close. Marc-Andre Fleury, however, just managing to make a great stop there. So we're going to get 1 minute into the third period, and no, it's not going to be a chance there for either team. This is a tight one here late, drifting late into it. So past 2 minutes, but again, the green 4 tells me just to go. We're going to have 4 more minutes coming off the clock now, and look at this. Whoops, that was a 1. Hopefully you saw it before my finger did that. So 141 in the 1. 141 in the 1. That means New Jersey's taking a lead here. And this 5-game best-of-5 series, I've decided, that's in Game 5. The Devils are up here by a score of 2-1. Okay, so we're going to take 4 more off the clock now. 6 plus 4 is 10, that's right. So, and look at this here, into minute 10 now, 165 for the 1. What did I say about Pittsburgh and the 2-1-5 earlier in the game? It's happened again. It happened to me at least a time or 2 off camera. The Devils have taken a 2-goal lead in this one. They had some of those, though, in that game, those games off camera. So that they were pretty strong early in the contest. This one's relatively late, though, unless I've missed a period somewhere in memory. I'm pretty sure that we're with about 10 minutes to go here in this here Game 5. So another 4 off the clock now, up to minute 14. And that green 4 just tells me to roll on. Another minute coming off the clock where we're going to get a green 1 and a 126 and a 4. Pittsburgh's back to within 1. So we're going to have a tight photo finish here as I evidently re-enter adolescence with my voice. And let's see here. So we're going to have 2 more off the clock there up to minute 17 and the 6. So New Jersey really trying to batten down the hatches and tighten things up here late. Okay, look at that, 3 minutes. So maybe the Devils don't even, or the Penguins rather, don't even really get a chance to pull their goalie. Or if they do, it's too little too late there. And for Fleury, or I was going to say Jan Denis, but he actually backed up Brodeur that season. And so there you have it. It's going to be 3-2, not only in the game, but the final score in the series appropriately. The New Jersey Devils defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins there 3-2, and 3-2 there in Game 5. So again, this is the game. This is 5 dice hockey. The team you don't do players, you don't generate player stats or anything like this. What I would call this is And it's really interesting because it does, like, basically Martin has found something in between a Mike Owens quick play and then your something like a Roberto Schiavini kill the power play where you're just generating a final score within a few rolls. One wrinkle that I like about the Schiavini game is that you have the option as well of power plays and something else. Like you can roll for special teams goals, basically. So that one's a handful of rolls. Of course, you have some games that I've not tried or shown on this camera, much less tried, like or tried, much less shown on camera, like a Downey games. You know, single roll final score hockey. Dave Gardner's got some videos up with some games like that. So this is in between that. It's a little faster moving than something like a Mike's or a shootout. Um, Congratulations, Martin. You've adequately found a space in between. I said this in the video about 6 or so weeks ago. I like the instructions. I think that they're well written. I think Martin had fun while he was writing them. And they're quite straightforward. Unless I've read something, now that I've said that, maybe I've read something incorrectly. But if not, they seem quite straightforward. You know, to be honest, it was a quick glance through them, and I think I know what I'm doing here. And so I started rolling. The only thing that I'm not certain about is I'm wondering if maybe the rare event is a little less rare. Maybe I look for any three sixes. The only reason why I'm skeptical about that is that would then sort of throw it off maybe for the home team and also for the 4 minute sequence. I guess maybe that's not too bad, but I know that's why in my own game design I'm careful to allocate dice rolls to um, things that make things any more or less likely for one team or the other. I think you have to be careful with that balance. So maybe that's the only thing I've done incorrectly, and if so, hey, maybe I don't play with rare events, right? I just want to roll, steamroll, plow forward, generate a final score. Although I would say if it could be any three dice, like what I have right here now with the three sixes, that in and of itself would be an interesting additional wrinkle. So I will say on top of that, that if that isn't in the game, it's just like it says here, 666 is rolled, a rare event happens. And it doesn't say if it's only the green, black, and white, though it's kind of sandwiched between these paragraphs about these the colors of dice and what they do. So that's, you know, I assumed maybe, however incorrectly, that would be the case here. But it's five dice hockey. It comes with, again, 4 pages of instructions, a scoring range chart, a rare events chart should I get there. And like the overtime, this is a 2d6 roll, though this one is measured from a 2 to 12 instead of, or sorry, I said overtime. I meant when the goalie is pulled. When the goalie is pulled, a 2d6 11 to 66 roll resolves things. We saw that here once in this video. And then the rare events chart, which we did not get to, but it's 2d6 looking 2 to 12. So, and the overtime, which I did have one game in overtime off camera. Let's actually say hypothetically that they went to Toronto and Pittsburgh, that one that hit the post, actually it was bar down or something. It looked like it hit the crossbar, but it was bar down and it had crossed the line. So let's say hypothetically I'm screwing New Jersey like Kovalchuk, and we're in OT here. And so what I do for OT, and I got to pick any three. So I think maybe what I'll do, because I'm most accustomed to that with this game, using these for the 111 to 666 range. So as you can see here, this is really nicely laid out here. Quite straightforward. Again, I'm not doing shootout. I only do hockey. 111 to 236 here for the Devils, and then 532 to 666 for the Penguins. One thing that I did not do in that game off camera was I wasn't looking at the time. So again, I'm going to drop a fourth one here. I mean, it says here for the OT. The OT rating consists of 2 ranges. Like I say, this is 4 pages, but it's nice, big, easy to read print. So it consists of 2 ranges. Away team uses the range starting with 111. That's that range over here. So up to 236 for the Devils. The home team uses the range ending with 666. So the Penguins go 532 to 666. Roll. Oh yeah, and then it does say roll the green, black, and white. So I didn't just pull that out of my whatever orifice there. It's you have these 3, and then the blue. I'm going to use the blue for the time, even though it doesn't say it here. Let's say this is a sudden death 20-minute period now. Anyway, so and I don't need this one this time, however, because again, if it's low, and it actually looks like, so here we're going to say 3 minutes into it with the blue 5, we've got a 1, a 4, and a 2. Guess what? New Jersey was meant, they were destined to win this one, however narrowly anyway. So the Devils of Toronto, and maybe Ilya Kovalchuk tried to help out Pittsburgh somehow, but the Devils are going to win this one anyway. Anyway, this is a ball. This is a blast. And honestly, I just finished up a game, playing another hockey game, and I was done playing that game for the evening, and I just decided it's time. It's time. It long overdue. And now that I've done that, I'm going to be playing it more. I'm going to cut out these teams. I'm going to mix and match. I'm going to see how far I can get the Montreal, Halak led, driven, and PK, back when PK was PK, through the postseason or whatever, come up with a hype. I don't know what I'll do. Again, I already have more than enough projects on the go, which is one lame excuse why this took a while longer than it should have. But again, there you have it. That's my ringing, not stinging, but ringing endorsement for Five Dice Hockey, created by Martin K. Check it out. It's free, and I will link to it in the description to this video. And I see that this video is a little long, but hey, it does contain 3 games. It's a little messy at the start, but still, anytime, any consideration that you give to this fun mess, while it's never expected, it is definitely always appreciated. So another thing too that you can't tell by just watching this on camera is it feels like it's a lot warmer in here than it needs to be. So you can see there the mug's kind of sweaty. Anyway, cheers, thanks, and bye for now.